Super Bowl 53 MVP Julian Edelman has embarked on a media tour in support of a documentary that debuts on Friday. He did a full-hour town hall with SiriusXM NFL Radio on Tuesday, and he discussed, among other things, his PED suspension from last year. He said it was a low time. You're already battling mentally if you can do it like you did it. This is after his ACL tear in 2017. Then all of a sudden you have this. You're dealing with this. You're dealing with everyone outside of your life and what people are saying and dealing with, and you can't really get too involved into it because you're ultimately trying to get yourself back to playing football. It was honestly probably the toughest time of my life at that point. And, you know, the one thing he said there, you're already battling mentally if you can do it like you did it. That's where that temptation arises, Chris. A guy coming off of an injury,
right,
trying to get himself back to 100%. There's that PED. You're going to justify the opportunity to compete with yourself and with everyone else out there to get yourself healthy. You tell yourself other people are doing the same thing. And you also tell yourself, if I get caught, look, it's worth the risk because otherwise I'm not going to get to the level of health that I need to get to.
Yeah, yes, that certainly seems to be an argument that goes on, in the brain of players. I do, and I don't condone it, definitely. And, the first thing is, hey, yeah, it's a bad example for everybody. Kids coming up who are trying to be athletes. We're talking about cheating, and it makes me question everything about Julian Edelman because he did get busted that way. I want to like Julian Edelman. He's a cool guy, and damn, he's played a lot of good football. But ever since the positive PED test, it's made me question his whole career from that standpoint. Now, I do think the question of, and I am totally against performance-enhancing drugs, but I'll say this, to add to your other Twitter question you have out there and everything like that, I do wish there was a way the NFL could find a way to help guys who have torn their Achilles tendon or their ACL or patella tendon, to where if there is performance-enhancing drugs that are out there that will help, improve the recovery process and make everything heal better, I wish the NFL could find a way where they can monitor a guy through that time period to where, okay, you can take it till you get healthy, and then, okay, now we think you're healthy enough, you got to get off it and go back to natural ways.
They can negotiate it.
Yeah.
NFL and NFLPA can negotiate that, right? An exception to the PED policy that allows certain performance-enhancing drugs to be used to help guys who are recovering from certain specific serious injuries. That's easy. And until that happens, there is no exception. We've got the two poll questions. One, do you care if a player, including a guy like a Julian Edelman, Patrick Peterson, or anyone else, is caught using PEDs? 53% say no. I guess I'm not surprised, but it's a little depressing that people don't care, that many people do not care. And this is what drives baseball fans crazy, because people care about it a lot more in baseball than they do in football. And I think part of it is we look at these guys, they're gladiators. How are they going to get that big? How are they going to stay that big? How do they recover from their injuries? Yeah, they're going to have some pharmaceutical enhancement. More than half of the fans seem to be okay with that, Chris.
Yeah, no, I know, and that does bother me. And I also think there's, I just don't get that. Gosh, I don't want cheating. It's unfair, and I do care. And gosh, the guys that are not cheating, it's totally unfair to them, and you're putting them in harm's way by they're doing it naturally, and now there's another guy who's 6'4", 270, but he's on PEDs, and now he's 6'4", 290, and he's faster and stronger than he was at 270, and he's running into you now. So it's a health risk, factor in this conversation as well. And I'm just amazed. But Mike, here's the big thing with me, and I have this argument. I've had this argument with my dad, and I've had it with a lot of people. How many people do you think in a locker room are taking performance-enhancing drugs? I'm a guy that I think it's a handful of guys on a 53-man roster where I go, maybe it's 4 to 7 guys in a locker room. I know, my father and other players I've talked to, they go, oh, you're crazy. You're being way too nice. It's more like it's 40 or it's 30 out of 53 guys. I don't know. Maybe I'm, gullible that way. But
I got a question for you.
What's your feel?
I got a question for you.
Okay, go ahead.
I got a question for you. When you were recovering from the loss of your spleen and dealing with proprioception, that problem where your body doesn't relate to its surroundings, and it was hard, you had to relearn how to throw.
Right.
If there was a PED you could have taken that would have cured that forever, would you have taken it?
Yeah, I guess I would have, yes. I would have done it. I would have tried to have done it ethically, I feel like. Let's be clear.
But
you're saying if it's illegal
a PED,
and everything? No, I would not.
A banned substance.
No.
Here it is.
Absolutely
Chris,
not.
Just take this pill and you'll be the guy you were before you lost your spleen, but this is a banned substance under the NFL's PED policy, would you have taken?
No, I would not have. There's no way. And hey, listen, there was things like HGH that were out there at that time when I was already going through it, and people talking about that help healing you. There's no freaking way I would do that. I'd never be able to sleep.
Even if the percentage of other guys taking it is much higher than you think. Like if you look around and say half these guys are on something, even then you wouldn't do it.
I don't feel like I would.
Why wouldn't you do it?
Because I just feel like I'd be cheating myself and cheating other people, and I just don't think I would be able to deal with it. I mean, like, live with it. My conscience would feel guilty, and that's just not my style. I'm so adamant against it. But I do wonder how many guys are really on PEDs in a locker room in the NFL.
I think it's more than you think.
Yeah, maybe I'm wrong.
They're not waving it around.
Yeah.
We got a good draft coming up right here on PFT Live. We'll be back with more.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.